2019. Today is the day I get my lap band out. I had my lap band since December 1st, 2010. I started out at $399, got my lap band when I was $366. Went all the way down to $267. Started having issues with it. Really couldn't eat too much. Started eating unhealthy stuff, what I could eat. A lot of cookies, ice cream, milkshakes, because I wasn't able to eat stuff like salad, fruit. In order for me to eat, I had to either drink coffee first or eat soup, and sometimes that would allow me to eat, so I had to learn ways to figure out how to eat, but I did lose weight. So then I ended up going back up to about 350. Ended up busting my knee, had knee surgery, ended up gaining about 17 more pounds. So my highest weight after lap band was 367. Like I said, when I got it, I was 366. So it's I gained pretty much most of my weight back for the lap band. In January of this year, I started going to Healthy Living, and they talked about surgery, doing something like the sleeve. And to be honest, that really put me in a position where I just felt like I can't be putting myself back in this position basically 10 years later after what I had went through. So I started kind of going hard. In January, I didn't take it too seriously, but I started not drinking my calories and doing some of the stuff that they were teaching. And so then I kind of stopped just eating random stuff. Then around April 1st, honestly, I want to say I went on a trip and then to Newport Beach. And then on the way home, I found out that Nipsey Hussle died. And Nipsey Hussle was really one of my favorite artists at the time, because I just felt like he spoke from a place of mostly positivity. And it was something that I felt that was rare at the time, and I felt like he was still really rapping. I feel like a lot of people weren't really rapping, didn't have really anything positive to say or anything that was encouraging. Also, at the time, was really listening to Rex Life Raj, who pretty much promoted all positivity, besides popping Adderalls. But I know he said he cut back, so that was what I was listening to at the time. So on that way home, I decided, man, I'm gonna go straight vegetarian, which is something I did before for about 100 days. That was the most I made it to, and at that time, I just felt really motivated. I felt like Nipsey Hussle's death and the things that he was trying to do at that time made me feel like, man, there's a lot of stuff that we talk about doing and that we don't really make happen. And I felt like at that point, that was something that I definitely was going to do and something that I definitely was going to make happen. So I just went full-fledged at that moment. And then about the day before Easter was the last time I drank alcohol. So again, I said it's June 26th. I think that was around April 21st or something like that. So I stopped drinking, stopped eating meat, cheese, eggs, milk. The only thing that I didn't do to be completely vegan was if something contained milk or egg in it, I wouldn't not eat it. So if it was like bread that was made with egg or milk, I would still eat it. And then I also try to cut my calorie intake to nothing more than 1,500 calories. So there was days when I went to maybe 1,700, 2,000, but there was also days where I would eat like 800 calories. So then I started working out. I want to say consistently, probably around May 1st, and then I was just doing stuff that I could do on my own, trying to figure it out, and then got with my cousin, started doing some basically high intensity workouts, things like that. And so that kind of boosted it. So I really got into doing that. That kind of boosted my workout, kind of had me on a better plan. And so I started dropping weight pretty good. Father's Day, I want to say June 16th, something happened after, so at that point I had lost about 50 pounds from January just until Father's Day, which is what, June 15th. And something happened with my lap band. That's what we think it is. And I just really couldn't eat or drink. And so it was very hard to get water down. One thing I was able to get down for some weird reason was smoothies from McDonald's. And Slurpees from, not Slurpees, but slushes from Sonic. So, man, it was a struggle. For the last week and a half, I've been kind of dehydrated. I had to get IV twice. I lost about 12 pounds in that time. And so, again, today is the day that I'm going to actually get it removed. So, get the lap band out today. We kind of see how it goes. And then it's just straightforward from there. I think it'll definitely allow me to eat more healthy. Because there's things that I can't eat and things that I'm restricted from eating, and therefore it's like kind of eat what you can. So that kind of lowers your calorie intake. And when I was really trying to get in this this workout in, some days it was like, man, am I really getting enough calories? So I was actually struggling with, is my calorie deficit too much? And so that's something hopefully I'm able to fix. But again, today I'm 305. So again, from around January, that's about 62 pounds. I gotta say about 12 of that is due to this last week of kind of just not being able to eat. And so we're gonna see how that goes. My goal originally was to be under 300 by October 19th. But now I say my goal is to be at about 270 by October 19th. So I want to lose about 30 pounds in, what is that, July, August, September, October, so 4 months. So about 30 more pounds in 4 months. That's my goal. And my real goal is not just to lose a bunch of weight, but to also gain a lot of muscle. I think that's something that I didn't focus on the first time, which even though you lose a lot of weight, it don't help as much if you don't pull some muscle in with it. So then you just look skinny fat, for lack of a better term. So at this point, I don't really want to be skinny fat, but I also don't want to be buff. Buff is not my goal, but I definitely want to be healthy. So healthy is my main goal. I think a lot of people think that vegan sounds crazy. When I try to get some of my family just to consider it for 30 days or so, they're like, I can't possibly do it. But one thing I did, I had made this little picture with a note on it, January 1st when I was 367, and it said basically, if you know the recipe for success and you know it's going to work, what would you do? And I think at this point, that's one thing that I can say that I figured out through the Reddit app, and just basically watching people. If you do the calorie in and calorie out and just focus on your calorie intake and what calories you're supposed to take in, it's like a mathematical equation that's like 1 + 1 = 2. So if I'm only eating this much calories and I'm working out this much, I have no choice but to lose weight. And then with the vegan on top, it cuts out a whole lot of my fat, which I know there's a lot of things saying eat healthy fats and whatnot, but that's one thing I can't say that helped, because limiting those things actually limited what I could eat. So because I wasn't eating meat or cheese or eggs or anything of that kind, it stops you from eating a lot of the stuff that you would normally eat. When you go out, you really ain't trying to eat a veggie burger. So another thing that I did too, which I learned this as I goes when I was constantly watching like my weight, was the weeks that I would eat a lot of chips, I would still not do as good, or eat a lot of French fries. So there was times where I wouldn't eat chips for that week, and then I think the next week I didn't eat chips or fries, and then I was able to eat chips here and there, and really try to cut out on the fries, even though fries are one of the best things that I could eat being vegan. I really tried to cut back on that. And then in the last couple of weeks, my wife found a vegan restaurant, which they had all kinds of stuff that was actually tasty. And so when I get right, that's definitely going to be my spot. It's called Vita Vegan on Stein Road, Bakersfield, California. So by far, that was one of the places that really gives you a lot of options. I try to share with one of my vegetarian friends, and my goal is that we definitely go by there when everything is all good. So again, today I get it out. we got to go to the hospital at 2 o'clock, and so we'll get it out. God willing, everything goes smooth. I always ask that God's will be done, and so hopefully everything goes smooth and everything is all right, and then I'll be able to eat again after 9 years without the restrictions. So I just wanted to at least kind of start with that. I was watching a lot of videos on what it's like to get it out, what it's like after, and I felt like a lot of them were old and didn't really give backdrop, and I think it's always good to have something that we can relate to. So I've seen a lot of research that says basically everybody with a lap band end up with problems and end up having to get it out, and so that was something I was trying to avoid, because I was just trying to avoid surgery, period. Surgery is really not my thing. People cutting in me and going in me, it ain't something that I really be feeling. People who know me know I'm very precautious. They say scary. I really don't mess around with too much of stuff. I'm kind of a safe guy. So again, I'm not mad or disappointed, because I feel like everything happens for a reason. This experience has been really life-changing, and I'm very grateful to finally have found a recipe that I feel is for success. So again, this is just by this time next year I plan to be in a whole different space, just physically and mentally. Again, after having knee surgery, it's been about almost 2 years, and at this point I still can't run. There's a lot that I can do, and I'm very grateful for that after tearing my patella tendon, but thankful last surgery they were able to put it back together, and it really put me back in the game. So my goal eventually is to be able to run again. I really used to love to play basketball, but that's something with my knee is kind of scary. Even at this point, every once in a while it'll buckle. It's very hard to put all my body weight on it, and so that's something that I'm trying to work on. So that's it for now. We'll see how this goes, and best of luck.